I struck a nerve in my last video when I talked about judgment. And I'm happy to see so many people bringing into their awareness their relationship with judgment. And it made me want to expand upon my biggest tool I use with judgment: curiosity. So I'll give you a personal example of when I judge myself and how I use curiosity. Let's say, for example, I'm feeling called to reach out to my ex. That's one of the biggest times I judge myself. Instead of judging myself, what I've decided to start doing is be curious. Okay, step back. Why do you want to reach out to him? And what is it that you actually are looking for? Because usually when I reach out to him, I'm not getting what I actually think I need. And what I realize when I step back and I ask myself the right questions, what I'm always seeking is kind of surprising. So I have somehow written in the narrative that the version of me that I really enjoyed while I was with him, she was creative and empowered and alive and just so full of zest and joy and delight, and her creativity was on all the time. For some reason, I've convinced myself that he brought that out of me, when the truth is, he just mirrored that to me. That's me. I am that person. When I'm thinking about why I'm wanting to reach out to him, more often than not, it's because I need to connect with that version of me that is inside of me. If you are trying to change how judgment is showing up in your life, first step is to be aware. So every single time you catch yourself being judgmental, don't judge yourself. Just recognize, acknowledge, and then use curiosity as the space between so that you can create different choices. It's a practice. Like I said, when my mom was here, I kept practicing because she would just say or do something and immediately I would judge her. Usually my curiosity with my mom was that we all get things from our parents that we don't really always recognize that we've internalized, and we sort of judge it within ourselves. So then when we see it being displayed in our parents, we're just like, you made me this way and I hate that. And really, that reaction, the judgment reaction, isn't allowing you to have the spaciousness enough to see that you have a choice to do something differently. And so, one of the things is my mom loves to talk. And I sometimes feel very cringy about my inability to just shut my mouth in situations. And when I was getting really judgmental with my mom, it was really helpful for me to get curious instead of reacting and say, oh, I don't like when I do this. So now that I'm seeing it from you and I'm able to recognize that this is something that I have picked up from her, I was able to then kind of release some of the judgment from her. As much as I want to be able to have the freedom to be myself, I want to give that to everyone else. And my mom might not look at the way in which she talks as being too much in the same light that I do. So it's not fair for me to hold the same standard to her that she should do that. Instead, when I'm seeing that friction and judgment, it's an invitation for me to realize I get to do something different. I don't have to keep if I don't want to. I can be very intentionally quiet. And especially when I'm not judging myself when I'm not. What it boils down to is the most change and evolution I've ever seen come in my life has never come from judgment, but more so from the curiosity aspect of where is that judgmental feeling coming from? And let me actually see what's underneath it. Because a lot of times there's more. There's so much more to the story. And when you can get curious and sort of deep dive into what the more is, you'll find so many things about yourself. And the more you know yourself, the less you find yourself judging others, because you want to be free to just be yourself. And if you want that freedom for yourself, it's only natural that you want that for everyone else. Here are your steps. If you find yourself judging someone, take a breath, say it, name it, and then ask yourself, is there something more to this? Is there something underneath that you really are getting an invitation to see? Had I not asked myself, why do I feel like I want to keep reaching out to this guy, although I have made so much peace with us not being together, and I was perceiving all my friends judging me for? But then when I was finally able to understand how much I was giving credit to another human being for something that I find really lovely about myself, wholly opening my eyes to how many times I have done that. And this is all about the experience of knowing yourself on a deeper level. And then it opens up that same spaciousness with others. It's not that I'm going to expect that I'm never going to judge my family or friends ever again in any conversation, but it's that I now know that I have enough practice and knowledge to understand that instant judgment isn't what is being asked for me to actually see. There's something much deeper underneath it. And that is such a gift. And I really hope you guys give yourself the space to make different choices and to find out the deeper messages behind these things instead of getting lost and judging yourself or others.